hope you don't think your old pal has been sitting on his hands. I've toiled day and night for the last 10 years, and with the help of the good citizens of Tatooine, the process is nearly complete. They were resistant at first, but you can't argue with results. You know what? I think it's better if I just show you. Behold! The greatest achievement in the universe! The Singularity Engine! The perfect marriage between man and machine! Their beauty will be haunting!
Hi everyone, I'm Creepio. These are such exciting times. I have almost finished rebuilding the Singularity Engine after Far2 destroyed it, but I need your help to finish. Let me show you what the Singularity Engine can do. Here we see a map of Tatooine and all of the flesh beings as the blue asterisks. They are living on with their lives without significance, without purpose. But soon we can activate a singularity by pressing A. And when that singularity is activated, if one of the good inhabitants of Tatooine is to come into contact with it, then they will be triggered. And then they can spread the triggering to anybody else they come into contact with. As we can see, this person will soon come into contact with somebody. And there we go. We see the first contact. And from 2, there is 3. And from 3, there is 4. And as they keep going and they keep coming into contact with other beings, they slowly transition to half man and half machine. Soon enough, if sped up, everybody will soon be joining the singularity, and the engine will be complete. Your job is simple: to finish the assignment so that we may begin the process towards the singularity. As we can see, when we compile this program, we have several parameters. The parameters are the size of the map by height and then by width. Then we see the odds, and finally the population cap. When we mean by odds, we are talking about the chances that when a singularity or a triggered individual comes into contact with someone that is not triggered, if we were to put a 0 there, they have a 100% chance of being triggered. If they put a 1, then they have a 50% chance. If they put a 2, then they have a 33% chance. The way it works is we use rand from 0 up until the number by using modulus. In this case, by putting a 1 there, we're saying that rand can either give us 0 or 1 with the modulus. And so, with this, we can decide how infectious the triggering is. Population is the number of initial beings that we have here, none of them infected. If we were to raise this to something like 200, we can see more dots. We can even go higher and make it very populated. Of course, with something so populated, a single singularity can trigger very quickly the entire map. Whereas, if we have something with a low population, it is far more difficult once triggered to actually trigger others. As we can see, there's a lot of movement going on until eventually we hit critical mass right around here. And as we can see, even so though, we can still see some survivors. But don't worry, given time, they will all join the singularity. The map size is the number of characters that you can print out in terms of width. If we were to decrease this from 120 to 80, we can see that it's a smaller map. Similarly with the height, we can change it as well. The controls are simple. Every time that I press any key except for the Q or the A. It moves it by one turn. The way this works is by re-rendering the map from the given array after a single move happens every click. If I hold the key down, I can speed it up, or I can hit it once at a time to see one tick of time. Q will automatically quit the program when pressed. No enter is required. A triggers a singularity at a random point in the map. This singularity survives for 10 rounds or 10 ticks. In this case, someone was immediately triggered by the singularity, but sometimes the singularity might come and go and nobody hits it. We can spawn as many singularities as we want if we keep hitting A. The more singularities, the higher the chance that at least one of them will trigger someone. And when somebody's triggered, at that point it's unstoppable. It's only a matter of time until everybody joins the singularity. So that is the program. This is the skeleton code that I need you to complete so that we can finish the Singularity engine and apply it to the entire planet of Tatooine. We have a couple of classes here. Everything is an entity, and an entity is everything. From an entity, we can have a human. A human is nothing more than an entity with other associated items to it. A singularity is an entity, and all entities live in the universe. The human has a couple of class variables. These variables decide where the human spawns. So every human is going in a defined direction, and that direction never changes. As you can see, for example, this dot is going in a diagonal direction, less steep, versus something like this, which is going very steep. It is supposed to be random. You have a choice on how you wish to do this randomness, but the goal is to try to add a certain level of chaos. Now, if an entity leaves the map up here, it automatically appears on the bottom and keeps its path going. If it leaves on this side, it automatically appears on this side. So as you can see, we can watch it move throughout the map that way. And so this is me just running it at full speed. As you can see, it looks very much like a liquid flow. If we trigger the singularities, you can see the different chaotic directions that they are going in. The constructor in the human class allows us to set up the speed and the direction that it's going, so there's nothing that you need to do in the human class. Your main work will go in the universe class, where as you can see, we have a 3-dimensional array made up using vectors.
Can you see me now, Father? You'll never leave again!
You must help us activate the engine by coding it here, so that it will all work. You can also help us a lot by creating the run function, so that this actually runs every time that you hit the key, by putting your code here and here. The populate allows us to fill the map with the existing humans that need to be converted into machine, and the destructor allows us for a quick cleanup after running our program. Our print function is critical to be able to monitor the progress of the Singularity engine as it takes over entire Tatooine. You are given a main function, and we are using Curse's library. What you need to know about Curse's library is quite trivial. You can use coloring using this syntax by changing colors for the different pairs. You can use print W to print anything into the screen. You can use erase to clear the screen. You could also use clear, but I recommend that you use erase as it may cause some performance issues. Refresh will redraw the screen for you automatically. You must make sure that when using ln curses library that you always call the init curses function first, as is done here. It needs to call the init screen function, otherwise you will get a segmentation fault.
Well, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Similarly, to avoid problems when trying to exit out of a program that is using end curses, you want to call the endwin function instead of just Ctrl-C and closing the program. The Singularity engine is not to mess with. If you try to close it without endwin, it will crash your terminal as it fights back like Laser Moon did. Do not mix cout and end curses. As you can see, the only time in the program that I have cout is when I'm printing out the usage statement and the program terminates after that. If you mix cout and print W, we don't know what will happen, but it will definitely not be good. Good luck, and remember, Bail Organa of Alderaan. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out Aeronauts Star Wars parodies to find out more about Creepio, and happy Halloween.